Hello and welcome back to Key Comic Universe. This week I'm back with another comic book haul. This is a smaller haul mainly consisting of 3 different transactions. So not the biggest ever, but there are some major keys and some pretty cool stuff. And I'll just break it down from each different person / company I got these from. But before I get into it, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, I highly recommend it, and it would be pretty cool. Also, you can stay up to date on the videos I'm releasing. Also, check me out on Instagram at Key Comic Universe. I'll also have it down below in the description. So, yeah, let's get right into this. First up, Marvel Spotlight issue number 29. This is my second copy of this book. It's still, a good book, second solo Moon Knight. Slightly nicer than the copy I previously had. This one just mainly has some spine ticks, which, is fun. And then also a bit of a spine roll and a crease right up here. Outside of that, it is a pretty nice copy and just a cool book. I'll pick this up anytime I see it for an affordable price. And I saw it for an affordable price, and I was like, well, and by affordable, I mean like cheapo, dirt cheap. Because this book to me is always just going to be a book that I buy on the low. But, picked up good stuff. Okay, next book is a book that I've been on the hunt for a while. I've been watching copies on eBay, looking at different comic book websites. So it's been a while. It's been a bit of a struggle to find this book at like under $100 or close to that amount. Like, just because this book has a lot of collectability. And this is pretty hard to find despite being a pretty unknown indie book, and that is the first print / first edition of Faust, Love of the Damned. So there are other editions of this book. There is a second print, and then there's also a Rebel edition. I think it goes all the way up to like a 4th printing for this book, and it's kind of crazy. All of them have, each different, the original one has just this black and white cover with the logo. And the Rebel edition has its own cover, and then the other editions also have their own cover. So, yeah, what makes this book pretty cool is that it was limited to 1,000 copies, and all of them are signed and numbered, including this one. And, yeah, I was just like, hey, that's a good price. And they had a best offer option, so I picked this book up. Again, I don't really use eBay a ton. But every once in a while something comes up and I was able to snag this book. Now, of course, it's not perfect. You can probably even see from here, it has spine ticks. It is unfortunate, but, I picked it up anyways. That's really the main issue, just the spine ticks. Everything else is really nice on this book. So, yeah, I'll take it. It's a good starting point. I can eventually upgrade it into a nicer copy of this one. But, yeah, this book is a pain to find. And Faust, pretty out there series, pretty crazy stuff. It's really not for everyone, just because how, not heavy, but how graphic the subject matter is. So, it's not necessarily a recommend for everyone. But, love the series myself. I think it's just really fun, just really enjoyable to read. And the artwork in here is insane. Like, all the books feature really amazing artwork. Also black and white, which is kind of cool. I mean, if you're into that. But nevertheless, check out this book if you're into like some more mature stuff. And also, Todd McFarlane kind of ripped off some of the story elements for Spawn from this book, which is kind of interesting. But that's all besides the point. I might make a review series or do a review on the series later on. But outside that, that's what I gotta say about this book. Alright, and then finally, this is another a trade / exchange from a buddy of mine. Check him out on Instagram at Comic Spotlight / comic art. Really cool dude. Really awesome stuff. He always, has just amazing stuff for both buying, selling, trading, whatever it may be, whatever you're looking for. He does have some really nice books, so definitely check him out. Okay, start off with kind of the smaller stuff and work my way up into the bigger books. So, first one up, Swordmaster issue number 1. This is just a solid book to pick up. I still have quite a few of these. I should probably list them on Instagram for sale. I haven't gone around to it. Every single sale, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to list up my Swordmaster copies. I'm going to list up my copies of number 1, number 9. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do it. So maybe it's finally time for me to do it. get some of these moved. I was looking through, I'm like, I have like a few of these, and yeah, I forgot to grab them before the video. Well, I might as well, I'll make an Instagram story, a post about that. Okay, next book. Heroes Inc. presents Canon, just a cool book from 1969. Honestly, when I saw this book, I'm not really, like, I didn't know too much about this book. I thought it was more recent. I just thought it was like a 1969, like, retro look back. But no, this book was actually made in 1969 and does feature some really awesome artwork. Yeah, and it's also a really nice copy, so that's always good to see. Nice older book, Silver Age, yeah. So those are the first two. Next book up is Contest of Champions, issue number 1. I just keep on picking this book up. I haven't bought one in quite a while, so it hasn't made it onto any of my haul videos. But I bought quite a few of these back when this book was starting to heat up, and I pretty much sold all of them. I didn't realize I sold all of the regular A variants. So yeah, but I still have all the normal variants, and I say regular A variants. That doesn't make sense. I meant to say just regular A covers, but the book is pretty cool. Really like the artwork for the series. I thought it was actually a pretty fun read, and this is also the first appearance of White Fox. It's a pretty cool key, pretty cool book. Yeah, got turned into a video game, I believe. So yeah, or not a video game, but not a console, a phone game. Video games, same thing. Not really, but same thing. Okay, let's see. Next book. ASM issue number 265. This is a pretty cool book. First appearance of Silver Sable, who is sick. Cool character. This one is signed by Tom DeFalco and what's his name? Ron Friends. Yeah, Ron Friends. I almost forgot his name there for a second, but a cool book, cool signed book. Yeah. Just a classic book going up in value right now, mainly because of like the whole TV show with all the other characters like Madam Web and Black Cat. And yeah, good book to pick up. Honestly, I think this book still has the potential to continue to grow. I have a bunch of copies of this book, and they all got bought up when I listed them because I listed them at a pretty low price for what they are. But hey, the more I pick up, the more I'll sell of them. So yeah, if you're looking for this book, I might have more of these coming in. So yeah, definitely cool. I'm going to just keep my eyes out for them. People want them, so yeah, it's just another book to search for. Okay, next up, I told myself I would never buy this book, and I still haven't bought this book. This was done as a trade. So technically I still haven't bought this book because my whole rule is I would never get this book for anything above cover price. And yeah, that is Black Panther issue number 3. First appearance of Tosin. Or Tosin. Tosin? I'm just going to go with Tosin. That just sounds better. But yeah, it's just a regular A cover first print that is kind of overpriced in my opinion. And the reason I picked up in trade is because it was at the right evaluation. So thank you, my dude, Comic Spotlight. But on top of that, it's just solid, I guess. I'm kind of leaning more towards it being a solid pickup just to have a couple copies of this book. So I might pick up some more. Of course, not in cash. I'd probably do trade for these. But honestly, if it's at the right value, I'll pick these up. I'm not going to buy them at full retail or anything like that because, yeah, I don't really see this book taking off like UF4. Now, of course, I could be wrong. I've been wrong about plenty of things before. I can't see the future. I don't know the market, how it's going, everything's going to fall and where it's going to be in 6 months, a year, 2 years. But in my opinion, this book is either good to have it in a short term and flip it, or it's good to just hold on to long term because I see it kind of, possibly fading off and then coming back, and it's kind of a risk just with how modern it is and how recent it is because, there can be a lot of, you could say, recency bias with these books, and then people are picking them up, and then the market's flooded by CGC 9.8, flooded by raw copies, people are moving these, so then people stop buying them, and then the price goes down, and then once the price hits a certain point, or Tosin becomes a successful character in the future, the book could go back up, but honestly, it's probably going to fluctuate a lot, so if you're going to hold on to this book, hold on to it for the long term. That's just what I would do. If you're going to flip it sooner than later. That's just my opinion, though. Of course, you don't have to take my advice or anything like that, because again, I have been wrong about things. I'm not 100% accurate with every single one of my predictions. Actually, I probably make a video of all my predictions I got completely wrong. That would be a pretty fun video. Okay, next one. Of course, you always need the Russian Captain America. Extra red. No white, just red. And that is, of course, a joke, but this is Captain America 100. Honestly, this copy is really solid outside just the custom Captain America you see. Everything else, yeah, pretty solid. Probably would be 3.5, 4.0, and then the coloring is what brings it down a bit. But honestly, really just a solid copy, despite the coloring in. Outside of that, honestly, just beautiful. Presents very well. Bright interiors, bright colors on the cover. Extra bright pen, but I should probably stop bragging on it. But, it's a cool book. I haven't had this book before for whatever reason. I just have never picked it up. So, yeah, thank you again, Comic Spotlight. And there's one more book, and this is probably the biggest book I've gotten in a while, outside of X-Men 12. X-Men 12, that was a pretty big one. If you want to know more about that, I made a video on that one or two haul videos ago. So, yeah, but here we go. Big book. I have been searching for this book, and I have picked it up. And I don't know what I'll do with it. I'll probably hold on to it, but I'm happy I have it. It's a CGC book. Here we go. New Mutants 98. Yep. Readjusting my camera. Now I readjust it again to get the grade and all that type of stuff. But this is a book that has evaded me off and on. I've had opportunities to get this book before. And sometimes I've taken those opportunities and other times I haven't. And in the past, there was at least one or two instances where I could have gotten this book for dirt cheap. And I was just like, at the time, oh no, this book isn't going to become huge. No, and this was back before like the Deadpool movies, back when I was much younger. And much more like, oh yeah, there's nothing going to be done with all these non-MCU characters. And I was definitely very wrong about that. But in recent years, I've struggled to find this book again. And especially a nice grade at a good price. And luckily, Comic Spotlight totally worked with me. He was awesome about it. He's like, hey, I got you. So that was pretty sweet, dude. But yeah, first appearance of Deadpool. First Gideon. So I guess if you like Gideon for whatever reason, kind of forces you to go after a bigger book. And then first Copycat, who is Domino at this time, taking on the form of her. But a lot of people consider this still the first appearance of Domino, even though it's kind of not, even though it kind of is, It's our first look at the character, at least. Like, it's just really confusing. I always get confused by that. I'm like, well, is it or is it not? But, yeah, this one came back. It came in as a CGC 9.0, white pages. It definitely does look like a 9.0. And, yeah, I'm happy I didn't go with the one at my LCS. My LCS got one of these in forever ago, like, probably about a year ago now, a year and a half ago. And they had a CGC, and I think it was about a 8.5, or, yeah, about 8.5, if I remember it. It was CGC, I'm sure I remember the exact grade. I feel like it was an 8.5, and they were asking, like, $700 for it, and I was just like, nah. And then, like, after the store, like, well, maybe, and I just never got it. And, that was probably a good decision. Someone else bought that book, and, $700 or something like that, and that grade, no. You can go a couple of 8.5 goes for it. Did not go for that much, but I don't think it went for that much back then. It's been a while, but even back then, I don't think it was worth that much. But honestly, awesome book. Happy to add it to the collection. Is this considered Grail? I honestly don't know if this is Grail worthy or if it's just major key. Honestly, per for the description video, I'm just going to put in major key. I want to call this a grail because I kind of feel like it's not quite to that point. But anyways, that's just kind of a mini haul. You know, bigger books, but not as many books. And, you know, that's kind of like the direction I kind of want to lean for the time being, is selling off a bunch of smaller books and going into larger books right now. Just because of how the market is right now, I feel like it's just more solid to go for larger books with a good range than to go for a bunch of small stuff. That's just what I'm going to be focusing on. Again, you know, I can totally see the opposite view where you go for smaller keys and, you know, get a good number of those. Either view has its reasons that make sense. I couldn't think of the word that I was looking for. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just really keys, $100+ is what I'm looking at, mainly picking up for the time being. And of course, you know, major keys and grails is the main thing. But, you know, maybe in a few months I'll start going back into smaller books, or even more recent than that, maybe like next week I'll be like, hey, I saw some really good prices on small books and I want for those. Yeah, but it just depends. You know, again, collect what you enjoy, collect what you like. You know, go for what makes sense. That's what I do. Go for what makes sense. And that's pretty much it. I'll be definitely making some more videos. Sorry that it's kind of been inconsistent. Just kind of got done with finals, and I just want to take a few days off after I was done with finals, really just to relax and kind of, you know, not worry about anything. But I'll be back with sales. I will be back with more videos. So yeah, check out my Instagram. Check out my other YouTube videos. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, please. And, you know, comment what you think. Comment your opinions on anything that I talked about. If you disagree with anything I said, hey, I'd love to hear it and love to talk about it. So, yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next video.